don't mean to say I'm great at Eve, but I mean, I'm not sure why people get upset and quit about anything in particular. Well, so Eve has a lot of tests. It tests your ability to perform, and it also tests your ability to process things. As I've said this before, there's a lot of those people that you see on the forums. There's a lot of the people raging out. There's a lot of the people that are like making their I'm quitting and biomassing my characters things. And there's a lot of people that are complaining about X feature change, that the God honest truth is that they're just failing. They're losing the game. They're dead. They have failed to properly adapt or die. They're on the die side of that coin. And this is just what it looks like as they're going through the process of failing out. Just let them do it. We have 3 regions, not particularly nice, and a half dozen are gone. Yeah, you know, I wonder how all those Caldari systems disappeared. It's kind of weird. We just all kind of woke up one day, and I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out someday. Ash would cry on stream if his paladin got popped. I doubt it. I mean, before I fly a ship on stream, I've mentally prepared myself to lose it. Secondly, if I'm going to lose my paladin, I want it to be on stream. Actually, the big losses that I have that end up not happening on stream, those are the ones that make me mad. Because if I'm going to have a big painful loss, I want it to at least be content. Additionally, I have suffered some pretty significant losses on stream before. I lost a 5 billion-isk Deimos on stream. That was worse than this paladin. But in the same way that, like, when I'm dealing with my son, yes, you all are like my 8-year-old son in this analogy. But when I'm dealing with my 8-year-old son, it's not, yes, an Abyss. It's not enough to simply teach the right thing with your words. When you are correcting a child, you are not only demonstrating the correct way to do the thing that you're correcting them with, but you're also teaching them the correct way to handle your problems, to convince other people to do things, and to work out issues. If you freak out and rage out, you're teaching your child that is a proper tactic to use in that kind of scenario. And that example speaks far louder than whatever lesson that you're actually trying to teach them. All this to say, when I lost my Deimos, the thing that gets me through that is the understanding that now that it has happened, it is my responsibility to demonstrate the proper way to deal with that issue, which is, of course, to pick up, learn from it, have it suck, and figure out a new plan. Move on. At the end of the day, if people find only one thing that they really enjoy doing in the game, that's not a bad thing. So if that's taken away, they no longer have a reason to keep playing it. Absolutely. And this has happened on many occasions, and it is incredibly unfortunate every single time it happens. And I think it should only happen under the most grievous of conditions. I would also say that a lot of people are really specific on their demands of what they mean by their content never changing. Right? Like, it's not enough to have other mining opportunities. If this exact opportunity that I like is done, then I'm not willing to even entertain any of the others. That's the attitude I don't like. But yeah, I mean, like, my buddy, I have a friend that quit the game because of the first roque wall change, when roque walls were turned into on-grid boosters, because he was a foreman. He ran a corporation, an alliance, and of miners and stuff, and he bought their ore with a buyback program. And the reason why miners worked with his organization and not others was because he kept a roque wall boosting out all day, every day. And so, and in Providence, and so people would go and be part of his team. He provided a service as a foreman. And when they changed the rock wall, it didn't matter to him how strong it was. It didn't matter to him how well it mined. It meant he couldn't do the thing he did before. And he was done. I even made a video about this. It actually, interestingly enough, comes up still as like one of my more viewed videos every once in a while, which makes me worried because I'm like, I hope these people don't think it's like the current changes, because these are like from 2016 or whatever, 17. But like, I do believe that they eventually did come back with that through the Athanor. They kind of restored that function of the idea of the you know, the command that provides something to their group that causes people to want to be part of their mining crew, in the same way that the rock wall used to. But oops. But yeah, it really is. It really sucks. Has he seen the reverse? I've talked to him about it. But I mean, the thing is that once you're disconnected, now it's actually work to get reconnected, you know? So convincing him that it could be kind of like it if he comes back and does this totally different thing, like, is not going to convince him if he's already out. Medium Citadel nerfs might get me to stop playing as much. No more solo small wormhole life. We'll have to see whether or not it plays out as actually no more solo small wormhole life. We'll see. I'm skeptical that it'll actually, like, I personally believe in the perseverance of the player base, that we can handle medium citadels in and their ways of playing in wormholes. I have confidence. If only because the things that make the wormhole the structures weaker now are exactly the same problems that they had to deal with POSes. You could argue that, yes, they are 3 times as expensive, but they also have significantly more utilization too. You might have, there might be a mass evictions, but that doesn't mean that there won't be more people. Like, there's already evictions. Are they going to evict people faster? You see what I'm saying? Like, on a practical level, people are still going to want to live out there. People are still going to do what it takes to get there, even if they understand that their holdings are temporary, which the idea that your holdings are temporary has always been baked into the idea of wormhole space. The idea that a wormholer would be afraid of losing their things is like, I could call any wormholer from like 2015 and they would freak the at that. These are the same people. These are the same people that told CCP to remove asset safety completely in wormhole space. That they would that the thing that would ruin wormhole space was not more easier to take out structures, but the concept of asset safety. You're right, no frame of reference. But my point is that they survived then, and I personally believe that they will survive again. Yes, CCP did not implement wormholes with the understanding that people would actually live in them. Correct. They thought that they would not bother. It still hurts that they made it way easier to attack, harder to defend. Your valuation has changed drastically. I mean, yes. And we had a long discussion about this already. I think that the situation is nuanced, and I think each area of space requires a little bit of adjustment from the original idea. But my point is that even if they implemented it as it was right now, the fear that I was speaking to, the fear that it would absolutely kill off wormhole, small and solo wormhole space. And there are too many idiots out there just dropping a structure randomly. I hear about them all the time. There are tons of corps that get war decked all the time because of it. Like, people are still going to do it. And some of them are going to be successful. Some of them are not.